us, the fantasies. No one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us. Open up your brown book, baby.
Hey y'all, hey! What's up? It's your girl Shay Baby from the Brown Book series, and I'm so super excited to be back with you guys on tonight. And I am so extra excited because, honey, I done went over across the waters. And I had to go holler at my girl, Miss Pepper, and I was like, Pepper, darling, I need you to come on over here and play with me. And she was like, sure, Shay. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the very first time here at the Brown Book series. Multiple, means like more than one, more than 1, 2, 3, 4. Multiple New York Times, Wall Street, and USA Today's bestselling author, Miss Pepper Winters. Hi, Pepper.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. And thank you for such a lovely intro. It's, I have to live up to that now.
Yeah, you're going to live up to it. It's all true. Like, it's all true. So it's such an honor to have you here, man. Like, this is wonderful. Like,
oh, definitely. No, I'm very, very honored. And yeah, it's great being able to make it work. So awesome.
But Pepper girl, before we get started, you know, I got to get all up in your business, right?
All right.
Hubby in his hands, honey, this background of yours, what is that? It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to say he chiseled it himself, but he didn't. We love going to Bali. That's one of our favorite places in the world to go, and we just love all the hand carvings over there. And we've always said when we moved into our dream house, we would bring in a container load of everything that we could from Bali, and this happened to be one of it. So it's hand carved. It comes in about 5 panels. Each panel weighs 42 kilos, and he had to reinforce the wall to be able to stick it on the wall. So I'm actually in my yoga room at the moment, which he made for me. So I'm very, very lucky. So, but it's my my background. You know, I use it for everything now because I mean it's so beautiful.
I love it. Tell me, I want one. Ship it over here.
Yeah, ship it over there. Well, back when shipping wasn't too expensive, it was pretty reasonable. But obviously now it's just got a bit stupid. So no, very lucky.
Very lucky. Midnight Ace, what's up, boo? She said, good evening, ladies. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Thank you guys for being here. Midnight has her own show too. It's called the Midnight Ace Book Bar.
Oh, and cool.
Yeah, it's awesome over there too. Hey, Cheryl. Hello, y'all. Hey, Miss Cheryl Brooks. How you doing, lady? Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys. We are on with multiple New York Times USA Today's bestselling author, Miss Pepper Winters. She's over in New Zealand, honey, relaxing and talking to us. And we appreciate that. Now, Pepper.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about you outside of the literary world. We're going to get into all that. You're going to get all in your business. But what in a day in the life of Miss Pepper Winters?
To be honest, I'm very boring. I'm a complete introvert. I've got basically no goss at all to share. A typical day for me is basically on my own or with my house rabbit. I've got a little house rabbit, or the husband, and that's basically my inner circle, and that's it. So that's it. Very boring. Very I'm very content with not doing a lot, if you know what I mean. I love being out in the paddock. Like we live on a farm, so just being in nature and being around animals, that's my happy place.
I absolutely love it. I love it. Yeah. Now, Pepper.
Uh-oh.
Here we go, right?
Here we go.
You live in New Zealand.
Yes.
We was like, it's our Kiwi friend, right?
Yeah.
But you were born in Hong Kong.
Correct. Yes.
Girl.
Yeah. I'll give you the short story. Otherwise, you'll be here for days.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So my dad was an RAF pilot in England. So he gets shafted around. So he served in the Irish War, he served in the Falklands War, and after doing some pretty intense postings, he was posted to Hong Kong, kind of a cushy post. He flew the governor, Chris Patton, around and, went on like drug busts and things, flying a Black Hawk. So he had a pretty cool life. And then while they were living there, I came along. So I'm officially a Hong Kongite because I'm an expat, but I was born on Hong Kong soil. I lived there 13 years. insane upbringing, like insane. We lived in a village of 7 houses. Rice paddies were out the door. We used to rescue all the local dogs and kittens, and amazing lifestyle. Very, very wild and free. And then when the handover happened in 97, we had the choice to stay or leave. At the time, I think we should have stayed because it didn't kind of go downhill for a while. But my parents decided to move, and they didn't want to go back to the UK. And so basically spun the world and kind of was like, right, let's go there. So ended up in New Zealand, and I absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was cold. It was 20 years behind Hong Kong. Nothing was open past 4 o'clock. Nothing was open on the weekend. It wasn't very cosmopolitan. Like all my friends, I was best friends with Filipino, Japan, Chinese, like those were my people. So I was like, oh, there's so many white people here. But then when I hated school because I was homeschooled in Hong Kong. I did go to school there, but I was homeschooled for a lot of it. And I'd basically done high school by the time I was 13. So moving to school here, I was the outcast because I was very different. And there was nothing to stimulate me. So I became a bit of a rebel. I didn't really go to school. I dropped out at 15 and I went to become an air hostess for Air New Zealand. Yeah, I was really young to be an air hostess. So that was pretty cool. And then when I turned 18, I was like, you know what, I've had enough of this place. And I moved to Australia. And that's where I met my husband, who's Canadian. And it was love at first sight. We knew instantly the minute we met. I was actually booking a round the world trip. I was a travel agent at the time. Okay. And he walked in needing to do a visa run. I was like, oh no. I literally saw my life fork. I was like, damn, if I make eye contact with this guy, I know my life is going to be completely different than if I just focus on my one round the world trip. And we never looked back. So, and then we did actually move willingly to New Zealand 6 years later and loved it now, like different headspace, different lifestyle. So yeah. So
girl,
that's me.
I was like, okay, so Pepper lives in New Zealand from Hong Kong. Husband is Canadian. She just got back home from Bali. She lived in Australia. I love it.
Very, very multicultural, and I've just been really, really lucky with being able to see the world, and not just see the world, but live in the world and live different cultures and experiences. And I mean, rubbing shoulders with like the governor in Hong Kong, and then living with villagers who literally have nothing, like a bag of rice to their name. So it really opens your eyes and makes you appreciate everything so much more, I think. So no, I'm very grateful for my upbringing.
I'm very grateful for now knowing you. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Love it. Love it. Now, Pepper, the writing world. What made you decide that writing is what I wanted to do?
It's kind of like that age-old, I didn't choose it, it chose me. And it sounds very cliche, but again, like I say, I was in Hong Kong, I was homeschooled for some of the time. Some of the time I did go to school there. But my most favorite thing of all was when we did creative writing. And I would just come up with the most crazy stories, and you couldn't pry the pen out of my hand. I was just addicted to notebooks and just living in my head. And then when I was in Australia, and my husband and we owned our own business. He was a roofer, and I was kind of running the books and doing all the back admin. And I had a bit of spare time. So I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to write a book. So I went and bought a laptop and wrote one. It was shockingly bad. I wrote another one, shockingly bad. And by the book 5, I was like, because like I said, I dropped out of school. And I can clearly remember my English teacher saying, you won't amount to anything. Like, you're a waste of space, basically. So I kind of self-taught myself, and that's not very good English, but you get the drift. And so like by book 5, I kind of felt like I had the know-how of how to create a proper story. And then Tears of Tess came along. So quintessentially, Q, the character in that, he just literally bowled into my head and wouldn't take no for an answer. I put aside the book I was writing, and I wrote Tears of Tess in 6 weeks. And the rest is history. I literally released that, and it was in the top 200 for about 4 months. And then, I was just perfect storm, really. So very lucky.
This is awesome. I absolutely love that. Now, why romance, though?
Again, I think that's life, isn't it? I mean, I've been so lucky to live my own happy ever after love story, and I fully believe it, love at first sight. Like if you meet your soulmate, you know. And so being able to write about it, it's not something I don't believe in. So I can really write it in any circumstance. So I love writing about it in darker circumstances and heartbreaking circumstances. So as long as there's love, I think that is the most powerful creation in the world, isn't it? So.
Girl,
so romance, it was a no-brainer for me.
Girl, listen, your books, the first ones and the second one, let me tell you, I love love dark romance, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, baby, Pepper took me all the way down to the gutters and I loved it. I was there. I stayed there. I was like, she my kind of girl.
Oh, good. Awesome.
BDSM series, like all of it was just, I was like, this is crazy. But I was loving every piece of it.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you. That's lovely.
Like, how did she do research on this stuff, honey? Did she be inside the clubs doing her thing?
Definitely. And unfortunately, like a lot of it, obviously, I like to tap into how far would you go if you were in those circumstances. So being able to write about it, I'm not writing the story. I'm literally penning it from their point of view. So I get to kind of put myself in those situations and think, what would I do? And I think that also makes love shine brighter as well, because you're like, what? Nothing else matters when it really is knuckles down to life or death, and what would you do for the other person and things. So
girl, let me tell you, you can lock me up with Q any day.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Baby, I was like, oh, I love him. I don't even care. Like he can lock me up with him because he was my kinds of monsters. Okay.
Me too. And funny enough, he was French because my husband speaks French. And on our first date, he whispered some French in my ear, which he's never ever told me what he said at the time. So I was like, right, he's got to be French.
That's how he got you. Listen.
Yeah.
I used to tell my husband that. I'm like, dude, you can get anything you want with a whisper. If you
exactly in a different language,
especially in a different language, I'd be like, whatever he said, I'm with it.
I'm there.
I am there. I absolutely love it. Now, are you considered a hybrid author or traditionally published or just straight?
I'd call myself hybrid, yeah, because once Tears of Test did really well, I released Destroyed, and that was the first book of mine to hit the USA Today, which blew my mind. And then I actually got a Facebook message from someone from Hachette and saying, oh, we'd love to publish you, blah, blah, blah. And I actually thought it was spam. So I deleted it. I was thinking, who is this person? And then a little voice in the back of my head was like, oh, maybe that was legit. And anyway, I emailed them back and they asked me to write 2 books that were in a popular genre at the time, motorcycle romance. So that's how Ruin and Rule and Sin and Suffer came about. So I am a hybrid with 2 traditionally published books through Grand Central. So, and that was a surreal experience to see them in like Barnes and Noble in Times Square and seeing it at the airports around the world. That was very, very cool.
I absolutely like that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Midnight. She says your story alone would have you wanted to pick up your books.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, what did she get back from Bali yet so she can do this interview, honey? She jet setting at its best, and I absolutely love it. Now, Pepper, how long did it take you to write a book?
Look, I have a varying answer to that. Like I said, Tears of Test, easy, 6 weeks. A lot of people say, that question, where'd you get your inspiration from? I hate that question because I can't give a good answer because it's not me who comes up with it. It literally comes barging to my head, mostly fully formed. The Indebted series was the same. We were in England for a book signing and we went round what was it called? Waddesdon Manor in Buckinghamshire, which is exactly Hawkesbury Hall, which is where the series is set. And the minute I walked through those grounds, I saw all these medieval weaponry on the walls. I was like, right, book, Nyla, Jethro, done. Whereas, and the same with The Boy and His Ribbon. That's like a tragedy love story. I can't use the word romance because, happy ever after, and it's not. It's a love story. And that was 6 weeks. But then some books will take months. I mean, there's fantasy books that I've just finished that took a year. So yeah, it's all over the place.
What's going on in your life? Are you it depends if you're traveling or not.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I mean, obviously, I haven't actually traveled for 3 years because of in New Zealand, we were really, really strict on lockdowns. So we couldn't basically go anywhere, which was fine because we live on a hill on a farm and we don't step out of the property anyway. But literally the world shut down. Like you guys were off there living life normally and we were still bunkered down. So
out here being just foolish, living out.
Exactly. Well, no. So I haven't been away. So yeah, I think I don't quite know why it took me so long. This one, I think, like, you know, just life circumstances and things. So
I love it. Listen, I was straight though because you know I had other books that I had to read, you know, like the backstories and stuff. And I'm like, I love because your series, you give. I'm like, yo, we could get a good 6 books out of Pepper in one series. So that I absolutely love that about you.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know. Like to read me, I'm not all my books are in KU. Some are, but most aren't. And I'm aware that I'm A, an investment in time, and B, an investment in money because each book, you know, it is $3.99. I haven't increased my prices, and I don't intend to. I think $3.99 is more than fair for 6 books. But yeah, I do demand some investment, which, you know, it's not for everyone. But I love to be able to draw that angst and that love story out. It's not something that you can kind of introduce to the world, get to the nitty gritty, and then have the happy ever after. You've got to go through hell to get to the happy. So
yes, you do, and I love it, honey. Literally, you go through hell to get it. And speaking of going through hell, it brings us to the first segment here in our Brown Book series called Name That Book. Well, we take a character, a passage, or something pertaining to one of your books that you have to name that book.
Oh God. I'm supposed to remember like 30 books.
Yes, 40 books. You got 40 books, Pepper.
40 books.
Yes.
See, I can't even remember how many I've got.
Yeah, I need them to know about them extra 10. Yes, you got 40 books. Get us together.
Just FYI, I'm going to fail at this hardcore.
I'm telling you, everyone who says they're gonna fail, they don't. And then I told you know, so this is your first time here to go real easy on you. Okay,
good. Thank you.
We're going to go real easy on it, real simple. I'm going to read a passage, and you just tell me. And if we give you a character, you know, you just give us the series that character is, because a lot of yours are, you know, they're ongoing and just in the series anyway.
They are, yeah. And interconnected as well. A lot of them are interconnected, so yeah.
Exactly, and I love it. I'm like, I don't have to relearn the new world right now like this.
Yeah, true, yeah.
I love it. All right, let's see here. Name that book. Here we go. Yeah. She is a woman divided. Her past, present, and future are as twisted as the lives she lived for the past 8 years, girl. Oh, she's done.
Oh my God. Who would that be?
Oh my God.
Woman divided. I told you to fail at this. I don't know. All I can think is twisted together, like Hugh and Tess. How long have they been together before I wrote that book?
Well, okay. Well, so she lived for the past 8 years. So 8 years she went through some, you know.
Nyla? Where are you from in Dead series?
The new clothes.
Oh, Rune and Rule. Okay. Yeah.
My God.
I told you. This is embarrassing. Let's stop this now.
Listen, you're going to get it because, you know, now you're going to get the groove. You're like, oh, okay, I got this. Now, tell us a little bit about this series, Ruin and Rule.
Okay. To be honest, you probably picked the one book that I don't have a hell of a lot to do with after publication because it is a traditionally published book. Yes. I don't own the rights to this. So I can't do all the promo that I normally would. I can't do sales. I can't do special hardbacks. I can't even certain amount of teasers, you know, I'm quite restricted. So you're right. Like this book, it got published and then it got shunned in the dark, and because it's mine, but it's not really mine if you get me.
I totally get you. It was a good series though. Well, let's go to the ones that we know for a fact is yours. How about that?
Okay, all right.
Ready?
Okay.
This one is yours. You can tell the different writing styles too. So I think I know which ones are traditional, which ones not. Because some of these books, I was like, yes, Lord. All right, name the book. The World Was
Jethro Hawk.
Huh?
Jethro Hawk. You don't even need to finish.
I told you, right?
There you go. Yay, I got one.
You already know. Debt Inheritance. Now, there are 6 books in this series, right?
Six and a half. Yeah, there's six and an epilogue. Yeah.
Okay, can you tell everybody about this series so they can go and pick it up, and we try to get all the Pepper.
How much time have we got? Because this is one of my favorites.
Just a this is one of my favorites too. Just a synopsis, Pepper, like
Okay. So there's a very pompous aristocratic English guy called Jethro Hawk, who for his 29th birthday gets told like the family history, and they have this debt over this family called the Weavers. Won't go into that, but basically he inherits Nyla, and he has to do 6 debts, which will end with her dying at his hand before he's 30 to inherit the $1 billion empire. Obviously, the first book, he's an absolute pillock to her. Let's face it, it's not an easy book to read, and there is a lot of 5 stars and there's a lot of 1 stars. You either hate it or you love it. There's no in between on that book at all. And then the second book, he starts to have a bit of a glimmer of a heart, and by the 3rd book, you realize how big that heart is. Yes. Along with his brother Kes, who, let's face it, everyone's in love with him equally. And then by the indebted epilogue, which is it should have just been like a chapter, but it ended up about 40,000 words. They find a happy ever after. So, but let's face it, it is twisted. It is full of medieval torture. A lot of like century, well, even 1,000-old torture devices are used, and people are horrible to one another.
They are, but I was enjoying it for some strange reason. Like,
but it's bad because it's not even fiction, it's fact. Like, this is what actually happened to people, like the ducking stool if you're a witch, thinking it's better to drown as an innocent woman than burn as a witch. People are nasty, nasty people. So
they are. But I love this series of yours. I was like, oh my God, Pepper is just sitting on that farm, honey, writing this good stuff. All right, next up, name that book.
Okay.
Must be slim, able to stand for long periods of time.
The Body Painter.
The Body Painter. I told you was gonna get this, honey.
I've got 2 out of 3 at the moment.
You're doing good though. The master of trickery. Now this threw me off a little bit because it's the body painter. It's the canvas. Yep.
So the body painter is the painter. He paints people, and they are his canvases. So
the second book is the canvas. So the third book is the masterpiece, right?
No, it's the duet. That's just the box set.
Got you, because I was thrown out, girl. I went and purchased the masterpiece thinking it was a whole book.
Sorry.
And then I was like, wait a minute. I had to talk to Pepper
sorry.
about it. But it was cool though, because it came in access. I was cool with it. All right, the Body Painter. Tell us about the Body Painter.
Well, I'm sure people shouldn't admit to this, but I'm a writer who I do have favorites. I don't have children, so I can't pick a favorite child, but I can pick a favorite book. And I'm quite vocal about which ones I like and which ones I don't like as much. Now, the Body Painter, I love the premise and I love the characters. Do I think the story was as awesome as the Indebted series, which I lived and breathed? No, it's not. But it is still a romance. It's still a story that needs to be told, because I like to flip things up, and it's the male who has the tortured background and the sexual abuse and things like that. And the same with the Fable of Happiness series. It's the guy who has the trauma. And I find those books don't do necessarily as well as if I'm torturing the woman, which I find quite funny. But everyone, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, you can be hurt in so many different ways and how you deal with it. And I love being able to step into a guy's psychology and think, okay, well, if this has been happening to him, like, that's a whole nother level of, how do you get around that? How are you a natural, a normal human being after going through something like that? So it's quite a heavy topic, really.
Yeah, it was cool for me. I was like, oh my God. And it was a little different than the debt.
Yeah, they're very different. Very different. Yeah.
Still good though, but just you are right. Very different. Here's another one, a series of yours that I just absolutely love. Name that book, Character, Eleanor Gray.
That's Unseen Messages, and that's one of my favorite. That's one of my very few standalones as well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of based loosely on a true story. Obviously, I didn't crash land or live on an island for 4 years, But how it all happened at the very beginning, that was all based on a true story. So
wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to have you on here again because an
yeah.
hour is not long enough for you. We need all this stuff. All right, next up, name that book. I swallowed, doing my best to ignore the pain of my body so close to fading. My gaze locked into the flower-threaded braids draped over the stranding woman's breast. Name that book.
Yeah, that one I'm gonna fail on.
Pepper. Passage. I swallowed.
Oh, maybe Fable of Happiness. No, she doesn't have braids. Yeah, I'm sorry, fail.
Pepper. It's from When a Moth Loved a Bee.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh my God, this is the new release.
Of course, it would be Nyla. Oh, yes, yeah. Naya, yeah. Okay, I failed that one.
Pepper, you're new.
So my excuse, that's a 220,000 word book, and I've read that so many times that it's all a blur.
Lord Jesus, this was a thick book. I was like, honey, Nyla was like, this is not gonna be a duet. We getting all this in one.
All of it one.
Okay, so When a Moth Loved a Bee. It's a high fantasy romance. Tell us about this book. And it was just released, you guys, February last week. So,
it was, Friday. Yeah,
it was just released on Friday. So tell us about this new release.
Okay, so this new release, it's my first fantasy. I actually read a lot of fantasy. That's kind of my genre that I read to relax and things. And this story it's been in the back of my head for many, many years. For fantasy for me is the really long epic sagas like Clan of the Cave Bear is one of my favorite, which literally is millions of words long. Same as Sword of Truth. I just love books that if you're enjoying it and you know there's like 20 books to go, you can just let yourself go and be swept right up in the world. So it's kind of like that. It's going to be a really sweeping world. It's going to be a very epic world. I can't really give too much away because everything that you think you know of the characters in this book is completely wrong. And that sounds very strange to kind of say, I'm leading you on a goose chase, but it will all make sense when we get there, if you know what I mean. It's just whether or not you want to come along for the journey. So
okay, we want to come along for the journey. Renata says, I wonder if your first 4 books ended up being revamped in part of your 40 books.
Like Tears of Tess and stuff.
Is that what you're talking about, Renata? Or you have to explain to us over here, honey. We be like, what? Probably.
She might mean I'm starting to hand draw all the hardbacks. Okay. So because I don't have hardbacks for my books, and I've always wondered, how could I make it quite a cool addition to paperbacks and things? So I'm hand drawing them all. So the first 4 books, which is the Monsters in the Dark, is out now. So that might be what she's. That's probably
Revamp the party. Yeah, that's probably what she said. So the first 4 they are part of the 40 books that you have out though.
Well, no, it's Tears of Tess, Quintessential Q, Je suis à toi, and Twisted Together is those have been done in hardback. The content's still the same. It's literally just a new cover for people who like to collect hardbacks.
Okay. So we got to go ahead and get this book that's out now. The new release, When a Moth Loved a Bee. And so, girl, I was looking at the book cover, which is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes, book cover is beautiful. And I was like, who came up with this cover? What was Pepper doing?
With the paperback with all the moths and the bees all over it, or the hardback with all the scroll work?
It's the green one and the gold one.
Okay. I think you might mean the hardback one. So the scroll.
Yeah, the hardback one. It's so pretty, but I'm like, okay, so did you come up with that cover? Did you get somebody to just design it for you, or did?
Like I say, that's the one I started hand drawing. So that was the first one I did. So I have a tablet with Clip Studio on. I've got a Samsung tablet, and I literally was just doodling while I was walking the rabbit outside. And that's going to ask lots of questions, but. So I was just drawing away as I'm walking around.
Hold on. Did you say walking the rabbit outside?
Walking the rabbit, yes.
Pepper.
So we have a little house rabbit. He's about this big, and he only has one eye, and he absolutely loves walking around the farm. So in summer, when it's warm, I'll be out there for 3 or 4 hours of a night time. So we'll go out about 8 o'clock, and I won't be back in until midnight. And I'm literally just walking around the paddocks following him. So I've got to do something.
Yo, that's hilarious. So me walking Scooby, I just be following him around.
Yeah, little rabbit. So yeah, oh, he absolutely loves it though. It's just so nice to see him enjoying his best life. So
that's what I love that too. She said, you said you wrote some books and they weren't good when you started. Oh, the ones that you wrote and you didn't like them. Did you read
There's
them?
quite a few of those. Yeah, there's quite a few. Like on my hard drive, I've probably got about 5 or 6 abandoned books. Some of, they're about 70,000 words, like Forbidden Floors. The first 20,000 words of that was in a charity anthology for quite a while. And I've gone back to that book 3 or 4 times to try and get it to work. And it's just stubborn. It just does not want to do what I want it to do. So I just have to keep walking away. So one day, hopefully.
It will. I'm still over here tripping on you and this rabbit. This is beautiful. All right, Pepper. So now that we have all your books, we had to get it like a little feel of who Pepper Winters is. I already knew because, girl, I'll be all into your books, honey.
Okay.
So now our Brown Book players, they also know. It brings us to the next segment here, the Brown Book series called Who'd You Rather?
Okay.
Well, we take your heroes, we pit them against each other, and you have to let us know who you want to have a one-night stand with.
Oh, okay.
No love, Pepper. None of that. Just one night stand, hit it and quit it. If they want to leave a little change on the nightstand, we cool with that too. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. I hate we pit these two together because I think I know who you're gonna pick. All right, who'd you rather? Jethro or Sullivan?
Oh, that is actually quite a hard one because I really like Sully. But yeah, probably Jethro.
Yeah, I love Sully. I love him too, but something about that Hulk.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, girl, he can get it all day and every day, and twice on Sundays. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Right. All right. Next up, who'd you rather?
I think that's a no-brainer. Again, I love Elder. I love the fact that he is half Japanese and he's got so much culture, and he will literally bend over backwards for a Pim, but it's got to be Q. Come on.
Yeah, who you want to bend over backwards for?
Exactly. That's a very good point.
Yes, girl. And Q, he is my favorite of all the guys in your books. He is my absolute favorite.
It's funny, a lot of people say that, and I don't know if it's just nostalgia because he's the first, or he's just got something special about him. But yeah, I get that a lot.
Oh my God, I love him. I was like, oh my God, I love him. All right, next up, who'd you rather? Ooh, Kill or Pin?
Yeah. Probably go with Kill, to be honest, because he's friends with Jethro, and like I say, he's a bit of a badass himself. Whereas Penn, he's yeah. No, I'll go with Kill.
I would Kill too. He can kill it. All right, Pepper. Author's moments. What's your most urgent priority for the rest of the year? Outside the literary world, inside the literary world, and in your personal life.
Oh, good question. Probably inside my career world. Like I say, I hadn't actually released a book for over 1.5 years. So I think this year is all about releasing books. I'm topped up in my creativity kind of output, I suppose. I'm already working on another book. I'm absolutely loving it. I haven't felt this kind of magic for quite a long time. So that's probably that goal. I've probably got at least 4 books more coming this year. And then off in personal life, I like to improve my yoga practice because I've been practicing for a few years now, and I just find that the more I do it, the better and healthier I get mentally and physically. Yes. And I wouldn't mind going away. Like I say, we haven't been away for 3 years, so even if we go away in the caravan and take the bunny, it's hard because we have 6 horses, so finding people to look after them is quite hard. So yeah, those are probably the 2 main goals this year.
Okay, I absolutely love that. Okay, on this moments, Pepper. In being a novelist, what did you learn a little too late?
It's something I'm constantly learning, and I'm sure a lot of authors will say the same, but I think the reason why Tears of Tess did so well, and the story was so free, is because no one knew me. I didn't have to think about how people would perceive it. I wrote it entirely for me. Like, no one would have read it at the time. I was just like, I had a writing partner who was in Ohio. We were writing together through Facebook sprints, and it was just purely indulgent fun. And then I think once that came out, you do start to think, oh God, how will people perceive me? And I've better change. And then you do find that sneaking into your work a little bit. And then every time you kind of have to snap yourself out of it. And then Endeavored series came along, and that was entirely for me. I was like, screw it, what everyone else thinks, I don't care. And then it creeps back in again. So it's a constant wave and ebb and flow of being true to yourself and letting outside voices and opinions kind of push you down a little bit. So it's a constant battle, I think. So that's my main thing as a novelist, and I wish I could learn the lesson of just be me, like just shut out everything else.
You're gonna get there, girl, honey. It comes with age. You hit a certain age, you're
it
like,
does. Totally agree. Yeah. What's the subtle art of giving a fuck? So
I'm telling you, that's it. I've been telling people I have no fucks to give. It is
no, they've all been spent. They've all been gone.
That's it. And I'm going to turn my phone off and go walk my rabbit. Whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right, author's moments. If you could have tea with one fictional character of yours, who would it be and why?
Ooh. I think I'd probably, and this is going to sound quite weird, it would probably be Della from The Boy and His Ribbon and The Girl and Her Wren, and it would be after The Girl and Her Wren. I would love to know how she would deal with losing the absolute love of her life. So, yeah, and how, you know, keep going, and how you find the strength and gratitude of the life you're still living when everything else has been taken away from you. So,
okay. That's what's up. Have a tea with her.
A heavy answer.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, this is what we're here for. If you could sit down with your 15-year-old self, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to not do anything differently. Don't listen to the teachers who tell you you're going to fail. Don't let your parents say, no, you should stay in school. Don't let society tell you should be in a box that does not fit you. I would do exactly every single step I've done. Every mistake, every lesson, all of it, right through to the life I live now. Because otherwise I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't have been overseas. You know, so no, I would say stay the course. Trust your instinct.
I love it. You know, some people, I mean, and school ain't for everybody. Sometimes it's the school of life.
Correct.
The school of life
totally is.
Yeah. Just like, oh my God.
Yeah, and you've completely nailed it. And I think I went to School of Life right from when I was little, living in Hong Kong. Yes. I just felt like my eyes were open to such a bigger universe than what they were telling me it was. And so it just didn't fit in with how I was. No, the world is not like that, and I'm not going to buy into what you're trying to tell me. So yeah, School of Life is key. Obviously, education is also key, but I think it's very important to have a really good blend.
Yes, that's what I say. Yeah, I'm like, honey, give me the basics so I can get up out of here.
Exactly. I'll make up my own mind once I know how to 2 + 2.
And that's it. See, I'm with you on that. Author's moments, Pepper. What would your pen name be?
Ooh, good question. A lot of people laugh and say I should be called Salt Summers, just purely to me.
Well, y'all, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that. I did actually use the last name Summers for when I did actually write a book about my rabbit. I mean, that sounds really weird, but because we were spending so much time outside, my pet rabbit befriended a wild rabbit. So I actually did write a book about them. It was quite cool. So that is under Pepper Summers, because of course that is not dark romance at all.
Not at all. That's funny. These animals are crazy. My dog Scooby, he befriended a baby deer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I think he might have slept with a coyote. I don't know. It's just,
oh my God.
You know? I told him, I said, listen, if a little brown coyote come over here, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be dealing with it.
Seriously, he's off living his best life.
Oh yeah, he be living his. I told you, he be walking me. I'd be like, who? I'd be walking behind him with the leash in my hand. It's not even
exactly. You might as well wear it because I don't need that right now.
Right. I'm like, who's walking who around here? I absolutely love it. All right, author's moments. Let's see here. Pepper, what's something you try really hard to like but just couldn't?
What, like a movie, or can it be literally anything? I mean,
anything
very
like really hard to try. Like I really, avocado. I try really hard.
You try like avocado.
I do, because and now I can do guacamole all day. But I guess that is, but just the regular, you just slice it up and people put it on a sandwich in between some bread and eat it. I try.
Can't do it.
And I
can kind of see that, to be honest. On like if it was just like a chunk of avocado, I don't think I could like eat it like an apple kind of thing. But you're right, guacamole is yum. For me, then, if we're going with food, it would probably be milk. I've hated milk right from a baby. Like even as a kid, I remember my mother be like, "You eat your milk," and I'm like, "Nope, not that crap." So
I can't do milk.
Never ever got a taste.
Yeah, I get you on that. I be trying some stuff. I just be like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, not for me.
Not for me. Author's moment. If money was no object, where would you live?
Even though you don't need a lot of money to live there, but I probably live in, say, Bali or Koh Samui, an island in Thailand, purely because I find like hot countries, they're really in tune with nature, everything grows so lush. There's just a real energy and a vitality with tropical countries. So it would definitely be somewhere like that.
I absolutely love it. All right, let's see here. Author's moments. What's one mistake you keep repeating?
Keep repeating. I'd like to think that I'm fairly good at learning from my mistakes. Don't really do the same thing twice. Like I say, kind of relearning to stick the course with me in my career rather than kind of trying to change myself. I probably can't really think of anything. I'm sure if you ask someone else, oh yeah, she does this all the time.
Well, ask your husband. He'll be like, no, she does this.
Exactly. I'm very bad at dishes. My poor husband has to do all the dishes, and so that's probably one mistake. I keep putting the plate near the dishwasher, but not in the dishwasher.
That's not a mistake. We do that on purpose. Like, what?
Well, to be honest, I've been trained. Okay, in my defense, if I put something in the dishwasher, I get told off for putting it in the dishwasher wrong. So I'm like, well, I won't even bother then. So
you know what? And they act like they've been washing dishes like all their life. My husband's the same way. It's a certain way you have to put it in. Why?
I know. It's like it didn't come with a blueprint.
Exactly. I'm like, girl, they be killing me. So I'm the same way. Well, no problem. Wash the dishes then.
Exactly. That's your job.
That's your job.
I'll go write the filthy books and you can clean the filthy plates.
Listen, and I interview the filthy authors. And it works hand in hand. I absolutely love it. And speaking of husband, Pepper, what's the craziest thing you've done together?
Craziest thing, probably right from meeting each other. You know what, my craziest thing, and like say I had the fork in the road moment, and the minute I met him, I knew. I was like, damn it, I've met my soulmate at 21. Actually, no, I was 20. And I actually asked him out. I would use the illegal, so as a travel agent, you take all his details. So I knew all his personal details, had his passport in my hand, and I used those to contact him. And I said, hey, I sent him to Egypt, as you do. And I said, when you come back from Egypt, how about a drink? And he said, that would be awesome. And basically from then on, we moved in together really quickly. We were on our first overseas trip together within 3 months. We owned our own business within 5 months. So it was just, that's crazy. Crazy right, though.
You don't be playing, honey. Pepper was like, listen.
I was like, you're mine. Let's put a ring on it. Let's get this done.
I'm with it. I am with it. It's so funny. Selena Scott says she loves hearing you swear. We swear a lot over here. Selena. Swear a lot over here. Okay, so we okay. Okay, so we asked you something that you tried that you were like, okay, we're not really feeling that. Well, what's the one thing besides milk that you tried and you're like, I would never ever try again, ever? Like, I don't care, never. Whether it's riding a ride at an amusement park or doing just something like that.
That's probably a good point. Like, I would never say go bungee jumping or skydiving, and it's not because I'm afraid of the adrenaline rush. I think that'd be quite fun. I don't trust the other person, the one holding the other end of that rope. I have trust issues, so that's probably one thing I'd never do. In terms of like things that I've done in the past that I wouldn't do again, you're right, roller coasters. Like, my husband and I, last time we were in Canada, we went to La Ronde, which is a big amusement park over in Montreal. And all day we spent binging on every single ride you can imagine. Now I could not even enter an amusement park. We just overdid it, and that's it. That me for life. I'll never go on another roller coaster.
You like, I'm good. I went with you.
I'm done.
Yeah, take that off your bucket list, buddy. We're not doing
exactly. No. And it wasn't even that we got sick. It was just, I think we just overdid it.
Okay. Yeah, it could be that, girl. I love it. All right. What is the most beautiful place you've ever seen? And you've seen some beautiful places too, Pepper.
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky, and you're right. And I can't just pick one because every country is different. So I'm going to pick two, and that is definitely in Koh Samui. Like, there's just, like I say, it's an island of about 40,000 people, which sounds quite a lot, but it doesn't feel like a lot when you're there. The water is crystal clear. It just has a real kind of primitive end of the world kind of feel, and you just feel really in tune. So that's number one. And number two is at home. I just absolutely love the paddocks and the willow trees. And when it's pouring with rain, we've got lots of little waterfalls because we've got so many hills and valleys. And when it's sunny, the sun is just streaming through the leaves and making all these beautiful dappling patterns. And so now I'm very lucky to live in paradise.
I want to come visit. Oh my God.
Oh, you're welcome.
I want to come visit there. What is your favorite holiday and why? Again,
I keep harping on about these places, but Bali and Thailand. There's two places just got my heart. Yep, definitely. Holiday and live there. Hey, every time. But I did really love, like, we went, like, say, around America for a book signing tour, and I was lucky enough to, I think we did 5 cities. And each one is just so different. Like, I found LA very stark and very concrete. I was not expecting it to just be so spread out and so massive, I suppose. And then Little Rock was complete opposite. Like, Arkansas, like, I remember getting off the plane and there was a blues band in the baggage claim area, and then everyone was just so friendly. And so the States was really great fun. Awesome to see so many different, like I say, different cultures, but all in the same culture. It was cool.
I love it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Pepper, this is good. What is something you want to learn how to do and why?
This is going to sound quite far out. It's because of the book I'm reading at the moment. So I'm reading Wim Hof. I don't know if you know him. He's known as the Iceman. It's a non-fiction book, and it's about using breath and meditation to basically cure yourself of anything, of bad habits as well as disease, and cold water therapy. Now, I'm from a tropical country, so my blood is very thin and I hate the cold. But I've really been actually embracing, like, cold showers, swimming in cold rivers, all in the name of mental and physical health. And so I'm learning that right now. I did breath work this morning and meditation, and I have to say it's pretty amazing. And his book, wow, I highly recommend reading it.
So did he,
pretty cool.
And this might be a different guy, did he do The Healer Within?
He might have. I've known of him, but I've only just started to scratch the surface of him. So he might have. I might not know it.
I think it's familiar. They gave me the book to read, and it was good. It's like a Chinese traditions, of different ones, and it's called The Healer Within, and it talks about meditation and the breathing and all the good stuff, how to heal yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is him. Yeah, girl. Hi.
Yeah, he's I think he's Dutch.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
It's him. It's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I highly recommend it. And I'm learning so much. We're only halfway through his book, and just, you know, teaching myself how to do what he does, and thinking, oh God, is it possible? Like I said, I hate the cold. And I had a 2-minute cold shower this morning. And just from kind of putting in practice what he's taught me, the water felt warm.
Right.
It was real surreal. It was really weird. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
My camera's not my friend right now. It's like, hey, I want to go over there.
I'm going over there.
That's how electronics do. All right,
they don't like me.
Dead or alive?
Mm-hmm.
If you were hosting a dinner party and could invite 5 people from any era, who would it be?
Oh, see, I suck at these because I don't know. I'd be like, I'm fine with just the rabbit. Just that's cool. Yeah, I honestly, I draw a blank on these questions. Like, all names go out of my head, and I have no idea.
Okay,
no
so
idea.
Let's help you out a little bit. Who's your favorite? Your favorite singer?
Again, I don't really listen to music. I know that's a sacrilegious thing to admit. I used to do a lot of Latin dancing, so I know bands that play Latin, like Satana, and you know, that's about it.
Okay, who's your favorite author?
I really like Leonie Taylor, who wrote The Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I love her writing.
Okay. So we can invite her to dinner.
We'll invite her, yeah.
You invite her to dinner. Let's see here. So that's one. Your favorite artist? You into art and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, I am. But again, how do you pick? Like, there's so many different artists, and yeah.
The last one that made you say,
Yeah. You know what? I would probably invite the Boho Beautiful founders, who are a yoga group, Mark and Juliana. I think they're great. And I'd probably who else? Oh, Eckhart Tolle. That would be a good one.
Okay. So you had 4 people already.
There you go. See? It's a party already.
It's a party already. And then one more, we'll invite your husband. How about that?
There we go. Oh, you. No, you're already coming over. So there you go.
I'm a party girl, honey. You know, I'm gonna be there, honey.
Perfect.
I'm gonna be there partying. You know how we do. Let's see in the chat. Hey, anybody got any questions for Miss Pepper? You got a good 2 or 3 minutes. We'll let you guys say what you gotta say to her. I'm sure you got a lot of questions, but you know, we gotta bring Pepper back when we got more time, because your life is just so intriguing that
I've been very lucky with
yeah, it's been wonderful. So anyway, you have any questions for Miss Pepper, let us know. Pepper, this is bringing us to the end of our interview, but we have one question left. But before we go, one big question that I have left. But before we go, tell us all things Pepper Winter. Where can we get your latest novel, your social media handles, and all the other good stuff?
Okay. Well, When a Moth Loved to Be, that's on all ebook platforms. So that isn't in KU, it's wide. So everywhere that books are sold, basically. In terms of where to find me the most, if you're wanting a kind of a look at my personally, Instagram, I treat that as my scrapbook. I don't really use that as marketing. It's literally, here's a picture of my rabbit and what I'm doing today. But my website, that's got all, you know, everything on there. So www.pepperwinters.com. And that's pretty much it. I am on Facebook, of course, and Instagram, but it's just Pepper Winters. So it's very simple.
Okay, I love it. So which one are you on the most? You on IG the most, or do you have
Instagram? Yeah, and this is going to sound really weird, but Instagram, like I said, I've been using it for the last 8 years as a scrapbook. So it's literally me with my life, because I used to scrapbook in a book, and now it's on Instagram. And I didn't realize, and obviously I know people message each other on Instagram, but I didn't know how. And then all of a sudden there was like, Instagram must have been so sick of me ignoring this inbox that they're like, look, this is how you access your messages. And I went in there, I'm like, holy shit, there's so many messages in here. So I've only just started messaging on Instagram. I'm like, hey, this is actually really cool. So literally in the last couple of weeks.
Oh man, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. All right, last question, Pepper. Hold on, we might have something in the chat here. Did you say something about working with someone in Ohio?
Yes, yeah, no, my writing partner, Sky Callahan. She writes when we were writing together paranormal romance and like ghost romances and stuff, and they were really cool. But yeah, she's awesome. Lots of midnight sprints.
I love it. Yeah, that's hot. Do you plan on getting any more pets, Selena?
No. Little Mo, that's the rabbit. We'll have him till the end of his natural life, and we want that to last as long as possible. And then the 6 horses, obviously, they can live up to 40 and beyond. So we've got them for a while.
Okay, that's what's up.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough horses. So you guys can go check out Pepper Winters. Go to her website. Make sure you have a newsletter, right? They can sign up for a newsletter.
Yeah. The link's on my website. So, okay. But yeah, that's probably the best way if you just don't want to have to follow too much. You just want to know when a book comes out. Just sign up for that. I don't send waffly, monthly things. I literally just send when a book's out. So.
Okay. Any signings?
I'd love to say yes, but like I say, we haven't traveled in 3 years, and trying to find people to look after the animals, especially a special needs rabbit, it's not easy. So overseas is out for now, unfortunately. Hopefully that will change, but for now we're sticking at home.
Oh, we're gonna have to come over there.
Definitely, New Zealand's a lovely place. We're had an amazing summer.
We'll come over there and do a book signing with you, girl. Get a little book signing.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, Pepper, the last question for the interview.
Okay.
Where is it? Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Oh. If you were writing a book about your life, what would the title be?
Oh, good question. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to think of that. I don't know. Nothing really springs to mind. Yeah, that's a bit of a flat answer to end on, really, isn't it? Yeah, I'd have to get back to you on that one. I guess life journey. I don't know.
That's good. But we're gonna let Pepper get back to us on that. Then when we bring her back, she's gonna let us know about
what my life would be called. And I'll write it. How about that? I'll write the autobiography, and then I'll have a title made for it.
You know what? I'm with that. You know what? We're gonna hold you up to that too. We're gonna hold you up to that. Brown Book Series, please give a warm welcome to multiple New York Times and Wall Street Journal, USA Today's bestseller author, Miss Pepper Winters. Pepper, thank you so much for joining us, darling.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was great fun. Oh, awesome.
Yes. So you guys, y'all know what's up. It's 7:00. It's Wednesday night. We're all of you dial. For everyone who missed it, the replay, they can just come on back, watch the replay, tell their friends, like, yo, you missed it, honey. Pepper was on Brown Book Series. So make sure you share it, because it's all romance. Her books are awesome. They're all awesome. They have a little content trigger now. So if you're a punk and ain't into it, don't be coming over here, honey. Don't be giving us no 1 stars, because we told you already what kind of books they were. Okay, so
definitely, they're not for the faint of heart. There's content warnings galore.
Yes, not for the faint of heart, honey. And I'm here for all of it. All right, Pepper, thank you so much. Hey, y'all. Hey, I see y'all on next week, 7:00 Wednesday night. We'll see you there. We're going to send some newsletters. Make sure you check out all our social media contacts and go to the website to see who we'll be interviewing on next week. See y'all later. Awesome. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you. It's for us. The fantasies. No one can judge us. No one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby.